I'm super happy to have this session. So anyway, so AI-based code reviews. Um, let's call it AI-based pull request code reviews. Let's say. Um, so basically, what we are talking about? You have some Git, uh, Git hosting, GitLab, GitHub, Bitbucket. You create pull request or merge request. You have some feature implemented and want to be merged to the some main develop branch. And you create pull request, and there you have some maybe some static analyzers, some pipeline which is executed, build passes, stuff like that. And another step is to have automatic code review to be executed on this pull request and some comments to be posted on the given pull request on particular lines of code. This is issue, this could be issue, blah, blah, blah. Same way as people do manual code reviews. Oh, this is old version. So why would we want to do that? One can ask. Maybe maybe someone can argue that the code is already AI generated, so why to AI review it again? Well, this I believe is not entirely true because I'm afraid that AI generation capabilities are not fully utilized by a whole range of developers. And additionally, so why to do AI review again? Well, you can generate code incrementally, and also you should. It's not most of the times it's not just one prompt and you say, okay, implement this feature, and it's get implemented, and you push, commit and push, and it's done. Many times you have to repeat and iterate, and over these iterations there can be some bug introduced or some missing feature, something. Uh, so that's why I think it's really important. Mm, okay. And also obvious reasons. If we can leverage AI, we don't have to do this manually as much to that extent as we would normally do, because at the end of the day, you want some people, some human to actually review your code and say, okay, approve, this is fine. And the more AI can review it beforehand, the less time the human can spend time doing the manual code review. Uh, okay. Another argument can be, okay, but I already done AI review locally. That could be true, but many times I guess it's not true. You cannot rely on that. It's good idea to have some local setup for your environment, for your development team, so that developers can execute this AI code review locally before they commit or before they create pull request, something like that. This is great way, but many times, and at least let's be honest, also for me, happened many times that I haven't performed this AI code review locally because we are in rush. Everything is after deadline, and you know how it goes. So you just finish it and look at it and should be good, I guess. I don't see any major problems. Okay, let's push it and cross your fingers and hopefully it will be good. So you cannot really rely on that. Also, you can be using some old model on your local environment, also or some local different setup, different prompt, less context, whatever. So it's not the same. And also you can configure this pull request code reviews to be, always up to date, and you know that it will be executed. Also, human reviewer can then re-evaluate, because you can execute this code review by yourself locally, and it says something, okay, here you should do it like that. And you look at it and think, I don't think so. I don't like this approach. I would keep it as it is. I don't think it's that of an issue. But you could be wrong. And if this comment is posted on Git hosting, Bitbucket, or GitLab, the other reviewer can read those AI generated comments and actually say, yes, this is good point, and it is still not implemented. So let's do it. So that's the reason, that's the reasoning from my side, and the whole takeaway from this presentation should be that I highly recommend to utilize this approach on your setup if you don't use it already. And I will continue to show you how I implemented it and go to some technical details and stuff like that. So, well, how it all started, or how it all started. It started like that half a year ago, on May this year, there was this boom around MCP servers for agents, AI agents. So I experimented with that and did some proof of concept to perform such code review and post or publish the comments to the Bitbucket, because our setup, our development team, our project uses Bitbucket. There are many tools that you can use. They're listed all here. This is half year old data. I just copied from the previous presentation. This is not the presentation to compare all the available options and pricings and features. You can go through it, and so this is not about that. There are many options, but I would like, I checked that, and for Bitbucket was not really that of a support, that there wasn't that many options. So I decided to implement it my own using this AI agent mode and MCP servers, just to play with it and test it. And it was it worked. It was working, but it was
Sorry
just
to interrupt you, but if you are sharing a screen, I can't see it,
no.
and I guess no one can see it.
No, I'm not
It
sharing screen.
seems like you would like to share.
Yes, I would like to share. Thank you very much. Can you see the table?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So this is some table of with the comparison of available tools for such Bitbucket, or not Bitbucket, pull request AI reviewer tools. Blah blah blah. Not really interested in that in this session, but I would like to highlight new alternatives that occurred maybe 1 month ago, and one is 𝐸Code Cloud. Many of you are using 𝐸Code. 𝐸Code is plugin to your VS Code IDE for AI agent development, and they are now providing cloud services. It can use your API key, and you also pay some extra because it's cloud service. So of course you have to pay for it. But it's GitHub only. But I guess this would be I haven't tested it, but I would bet that this would be the state of the art best reviewer, I would say, because my opinion. So if you are using GitHub and if you are using 𝐸𝐶ode and have option to use this cloud agent, they have two agents. One is for reviewer and another is for PR fixer. So it can automatically fix your issues that reviewer found. And it is using agentic approach. So the same way as you use 𝐸𝐶ode, and it has pretty good agent mode, I would say. And using this agent mode, I would bet it can do pretty powerful reviews, get some additional context, blah blah blah. They're also advertising it such as that it's not limited just to one prompt. You can leverage your API key as much as possible, because other providers, you just pay, for example, for CodeRabbit. For CodeRabbit, maybe someone is using it here. So maybe at the end of this presentation, we can talk about it. But you just pay some fixed price for a developer per month, and they have to also pay API providers, their API providers. So they want to limit the API usage as much as possible, so that they have from this $30, as they want to save it as much as possible, but not the 𝐸𝐶ode. They say you have to pay for this cloud service, and then you pay as much as it burns and it uses your API key. So this could be really good. And also for Atlassian, there is Rovo Dev. Rovo is Atlassian's AI setup for a whole Atlassian stack, so your Jira, Confluence, stuff like that. And they have additional product, Rovo Dev, which is targeted for developers, and it includes also AI-based pull request reviews for Bitbucket. It is cloud. It's yes, you pay $20 per developer per month. But for Bitbucket, I would say this is the go-to option if you are already maybe using Rovo for your Atlassian setup. So this is the high-level overview of available options for AI pull request code reviews. So let's have a look how I implemented my setup. So we will go through some code. I don't know if you can see my IDE.
Yes, we can see.
Yes.
Okay, so I created this AI code reviewer project. It's TypeScript, Node.js, backend web application. It uses Express to implement HTTP API. So it's simplest backend app that is running somewhere. And it listens to Bitbucket webhooks. Bitbucket webhooks is this feature of Bitbucket, but many other Git hosting services, I guess, support it also. So you can configure webhook. It's basically feature that can react or trigger on some event that is happening on Bitbucket. For example, for our use case, we want to trigger it once the pull request is created. When pull request is created, it will send a request to our service, to this AI reviewer backend running somewhere in a cloud. And there will be some metadata about, so it is executed from this Bitbucket, from this particular repository, stuff like that, and it is event about creation of pull request. And this our tool, our AI reviewer, will react on that, and it has access to our Bitbucket. It uses API key for Bitbucket, so it can fetch a diff from a pull request. So basically, if you open the created pull request and there is diff, what was changed in this branch, the same data can be returned from Bitbucket HTTP REST service, let's call it. So it fetches this diff, and basically it takes this diff. You can have a look into code. So it's basically Bitbucket service, and here get file content, get pull request diff. So it fetches the diff, and the diff is then it's taken and it is provided to the OpenAI API. So to perform code review on it. Why I'm using OpenAI? Because when I was developing this maybe 2, 3, 4 months ago, I wanted to have output from the LLM, from the AI service, to be structured as JSON. And from what I researched back then, the OpenAI is only AI service that you can provide the schema, JSON schema that you want to have output, and it will guarantee that the output it gives you follows the schema. You can have a look. It's OpenAI service. And here, blah, blah, blah. Review diff. And you have here this is the call. We are using completions API. There are many types of API, well, let's say API capabilities. I'm not really, I don't really have that read through, but the completions works just fine for me. And here you can say that response format. And the response format should be, and this is the JSON schema. And you say that here I'm saying that I want array of objects, and this objects should be, because I want to publish individual comments on individual files, on individual lines. So each comment should have file name, on which file it relates to, and line, maybe on 38 line or whatever, and then comment, which is string. So just give me the array of comments, that's all. And it gives me as I requested. And then basically I loop through all these comments and publish it back to the Bitbucket using Bitbucket API, REST API on individual lines. And that's all the magic. So I thought that it's pretty straightforward, but it works quite good. It's not agentic approach. This is just one prompt. Rucode would maybe check out maybe the whole Git repository and get additional files to extend its context and reason about stuff like that. So let's see it in action. I prepared some fake branch, fake pull request. So let's create it. And it's this one. So this presentation is not about evaluating the quality of the comments, but just to have an idea how this all works. So in this pull request, I created some new API, HTTP-based API to get some weather. So give me the weather. This was just AI generated one prompt. I haven't really have much time to mock some actual example, but it can, for this the demonstration, it can work just fine. So it should be something like AI code review test, and we will create it. So we have pull request, and on the background, it should call the service. We have it deployed on our development environment. It is packaged as Docker image and deployed on a Kubernetes cluster. And here it is running on our cluster, so we can see the logs out of it. So, and it starts here. So every webhook from the Bitbucket needs to be verified its signature. When you create a webhook, it generates a signature. It's some key, and you have to take this key and transfer it to the destination service, which will be called, so that the API webhook can be validated that it's okay, because other services or something unauthorized can access your services. Okay, so webhook signature was verified, pull request created. Repository, we have one repository. I've configured it to multiple repositories. We already have it on maybe some 3 or 4 repositories on our project. You have to have configured it that this repository has this webhook secret, this repository has another webhook secret, but this is just technical detail. Okay, and AI code review test. This is name of the pull request. So it is already in the webhook. Who is author? That's me. Feature branch. Ticket. It also extracts the Jira ticket number, and it could be I could implement also requirements validation from Jira ticket. That would be pretty easy thing to do. You would have to provide for this AI reviewer API key for your Jira, and based on the Jira ticket, it can just do one HTTP get of the Jira service, get the Jira ticket requirements from there, and just add it into the prompt. So but this is not implemented here, but should be really easy to do, and many services listed in my comparison table already provides some such feature. Okay, starting to do a review, I will get the diff. Attempting to load custom code review rules. It's not working here, but it tries to extend its context with additional rules related to code review. This is also interesting thing to have such custom rules in your project. You may be familiar with your windsurf rules, Ru code rules, Eiderdesk rules, whatever for your code generation. But I think it makes sense to have different rules to verify for performing code review. It's already in the project, but somehow it's not working. But this is also marketed as feature on additional AI based no, for example, for CodeRabbit, you can specify custom rules, and for all other services, you can specify what needs to be checked during the code review. Okay, it publishes the request to the OpenAI. I'm using GPT-5 model, which is quite slow. It took 2.5 minutes, or maybe, I guess, almost 3 minutes to respond. And the cost is 7 US cents, so it's pretty cheap. And the output is 10 comments, then it loops over the comments and publishes every comment to given file and given line. Successfully, blah, 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 success. Okay, so let's have a look. And now it should be here. And we have 10 comments. So just let's have a look. It's me, because I provided my personal API key for my account, but you could create some custom, let's say, technical user in your Bitbucket and name it AI code review and generate API key for such user. And then you would have a custom user to post such comments. The half a year ago, when I was reviewing other options, other services, I found some project that used exactly the same approach. There was some how to set up on Bitbucket, and it used exactly the same approach. Just create technical user called AI code review and generate API key for that, so that you can have AI reviewer and you can have some photo of some robot so that it will be better, because now when I post some comments for myself, it's all messed up. But okay, so we have some output here. It's pretty verbose. I would adjust it to create some not to create the comments not that large, but that's for another day. I'm using system prompt. We can have a look at the system prompt that I'm using. System prompt. So here, okay, you are a code reviewer and you should create comments with severity. So I defined some levels of severity for comments. So there can be suggestions, minor, major, critical. You can go crazy with this. Whatever you like, you can have it. So here it created some suggestions and also something major. Now let's have a look. Blah blah blah, non-JSON, whatever. So that's basically all there is to it. Maybe I can. Okay, I have some improvements, but okay. And then, well, the flow that we are using on a project is as follows, that let's say I'm the author of this pull request, so I created this pull request, and my responsibility is to check all these commands and address those. So maybe I can say that, okay, now this is just naming, this is all good, so I can resolve it, and I can. So ideally, I would resolve all this, and ideally maybe I can comment that this is okay, not needed, something like that. And I say, okay, this is good idea, so maybe I can give it a like, and I will implement it, push, and resolve. And resolve all these, and then I can add some reviewer, my colleague, and it is done from my side, and my colleague, some human, can do the final review for me. This could be the flow or whatever you agrees with your teammates. This is just one-time review. Maybe other services, I guess, can support additional re-review sessions, so that, and it could be also possible to do it here, so you can have webhook for also when pull request is updated, and it can re-evaluate if your comments were resolved or not, or maybe we can implement that, okay, I as a person resolved this comment, so it will not re-evaluate it on a second run. And sky is the limit. You can implement whatever crazy stuff you would like. I don't know the capabilities of other services, but I'm pretty sure the 𝐲𝐶ode agent can do that, but don't know. We've been using this approach on our project for maybe a month already, and it's been working quite good. We found maybe up to 10 bugs with it, and I was also scratching my head because I had to fix something that I implemented, and so from my experience, yes, it is great to have this additional step in your pipeline. Basically, I not pipeline, but Bitbucket or no, pull request. So you have the safety net that at the end of the day, every code that you write will be reviewed. So I have some improvements that could be done. This is just a proof of concept, but if I will be extending this, I would like to have a summary comment, because now it published 10 comments, and only one has major priority. I would like to have some general comment here that AI review, summary, all green can be merged. Or maybe the code that you've written is flawless and there are no comments, like it's perfect, and AI code review would just say the summary comment, I can see no issues with it, great job. Because now it is too verbose, and even if you create just a tiny little pull request with little code changes, it goes crazy, and suggestions and minor, and you have to read through all of this, and it's pain. But so I would like to have some summary comment. Also create custom Bitbucket user, because now it uses my face everywhere, and I would add this robot here, there. It would be nicer, but no actual benefit from there. Validate Jira requirements. As I mentioned, you can easily just do one HTTP GET on Jira API, get the requirements, and add it to the prompt. Support more AI providers. Now it uses only the OpenAI API, but shouldn't be problem to support other API providers, because you can just tell in the prompt, just give me the output in JSON format and structure the JSON as follows. So it should be array, and it should be every item of the array should have line, file name, and comment, and most of the times it will give you what you want. Because initially, when I implemented this, I wasn't using this response format field in the API request. And I was not aware of this. And the API responded text, it responded basically markdown, and the whole response was just one text block with JSON. It was like this. It was like, and here was JSON. And I was not aware, I was like, why it is responding with this? And I had to manually remove this markdown code annotation, and it was working fine. And then I reevaluated, and I realized that I was not even using this. So, and also, even if it hallucinates and it generates something like, here is your response, and it fails, you can add some additional schema JSON validation on your side, and validate your response. And if it is not if it's not following the schema, you can reprompt again. So shouldn't be really an issue to add additional API providers with such approach. Enhance prompt. Yes, this is just, proof of concept. Can be really much better. Make agentic. This is huge, I think, huge step forward, but could be done. Re-review. Also, as I mentioned, you can have additional webhook for pull request updates, and you can actually check again if the given comment was resolved or not. But this would be, I guess, maybe a little bit tricky, but yes, could be done. And also I was thinking that maybe I can have like sarcastic mode, so we can enable, and the comments would have some sarcastic tones in it, so that the AI would laugh at you when you maybe develop something wrong, to have some, maybe to cheer you up and have some smile during the reviews. But that's about it. If you have any questions, I would be glad to answer.
I have a question. So you said you have been using it for months, but I guess it's been already like developed before. So my question is actually, have you tried using a different model than GPT-5, and if so, which one? And if you can compare the models?
No, when I was initially, when I had this initial MCP based proof of concept setup locally, I was using Anthropic Claude model that was at the time the latest one, maybe 4 months ago. And then when I started to create this AI review service and want to use the straight API from the AI service, I used GPT. And since then, haven't compared the results. But initially, I was using GPT 4.0, and the output was just garbage. It was because I just read through some documentation and wanted to use this JSON mode, this response API, so that API with would guarantee the response. And the first model that I was able to run it with was this GPT 4.0, and the results were, it was just unusable. It was just pure nonsense. But I think the model was not really meant for maybe programming domain. And then since it's using GPT-5, the results are pretty high quality.
And have you tried also tweaking with reasoning effort or verbosity in the response, the requests? Not sure if you know what I mean.
Well, I was thinking about maybe tweaking with temperature and the general prompt, system prompt.
Yeah, but temperature cannot be really changed for GPT-5, so you can only tweak the reasoning effort and verbosity there.
Yes, so no, I haven't tweaked with it that much, basically at all.
Yeah, actually, I wonder if it really makes sense, because like for reasoning effort, it means like it will take more time to respond, and it will take time to think about the changes. But if you only pass it a git diff, then maybe it doesn't really make sense to do so, because it doesn't really do any like agentic flow there. So maybe you can try to just putting it to minimal or low to get the faster results if you want. And same for verbosity, you can tweak it to have more verbose responses, or just the minimal. What do you want, based on what you want?
Yeah.
Basically, yeah, go on. Sorry.
Basically, this is just I haven't had that much time put into it. This is just basically first working version that works for us, and I would really like to tweak it and sit down and try some other approaches and do some prompt engineering with it, but unfortunately haven't have that much time for it. So
And I also have a question about the architecture of this thing. So basically, I'm looking for something for Azure DevOps, not Bitbucket. So if you would be easy to implement it, like, do you have this layer of like Bitbucket? I can see that the Bitbucket service is there in the class. So I'm not sure if it's easy to like replace it if you have some interface that I could just replace to like create commands using the different service like Azure DevOps services, whatever?
Yes, great question. It's not using strict API interfaces so that you can implement some additional interface, but should be really easy to support additional Git hostings. So and also we can have a look at the API. So you can just find pull request by ticket ID. So I haven't created interface, but basically the public methods of this class are structured in a way that it's not really tied to Bitbucket. So
Okay. So it would require some work to
yes.
refactor. Okay.
Yes.
Thank you.
So if there are no more questions, then we can, I guess, wrap it up.
Thank you, Mark.
Thank you for your attention.
Yeah, thank you.
Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.